Thing's like a roller coaster ride. Look at it. What's going on, guys? My name's Sean, and if you landed here, you're watching Scar My Guitar. What's up, fellas? It's good to see you back. Now here lately, we've been getting caught up in this cheap guitar thing. And I gotta tell you this now, after the Telly incident, you will never see another guitar on this channel that I didn't pay for myself. We're still gonna be working on other kinds of guitars and stuff like that. I'm just talking about guitars under 200 bucks. These cheap budget guitars are like the pigs of the guitar world. See, you can put lipstick on them, but they're still a pig. But lo and behold, we have another one here today. Now I know you're probably not gonna believe this, but I've been letting my wife order them. That way it's kind of like a crapshoot, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's in the box, you guys don't. We really get surprised. Now, I'm no guitar expert. I can't look at a serial number and tell you where it was made and all that other good stuff. I can't look inside of a control cavity and tell you anything. But I play guitar and I've worked on a ton of them. And I think because of that and all the guitars I've actually made from scratch, at least qualifies me somewhere in the neighborhood of whether or not a guitar is a piece of trash or not. Especially the way I'm fitting to tear into it. Because see, all guitars are good in my hands because I ain't seen one I can't make play yet. I'm serious, man. If you give me a 2x4 and some strings, I'm going to find a way to make a guitar out of it. No, I'm not kidding you. I'll make a guitar out of anything. Which brings me to something else. We done reached over 20,000 subscribers. That means I gotta make a guitar to give to one of you guys. And we're gonna make it together from scratch. And we're gonna use the most basic tools you could possibly find. And I could stand here and talk about it all day. But right now, we gotta unbox a guitar. That's gonna be enough flip-flapping. Let's make it happen. All right, another Amazon prize here. You can see the box has already been traumatized really bad. Got a bunch of huge dents on that side. Lots of holes. All right, let's see what she got. It's blue. Oh man, it's that IYV guitar again. No, the last one sucked. I hope this one's better. Let's gut this guy like a fish. What do we got here? You know it's a Les Paul style. Well, I mean, sure does look pretty. There's nothing great about that top for sure. There's them Destiny CNC wound pickups again. Well, let's get it out of the box and check it out. Okay, straight up honest first impression. Pretty cool looking finish. I mean, I could sit here and pick over a bunch of crap on it for sure. But I'm not that guy. They had somebody run a file on the edge of those frets, but they didn't really get rid of the sharp edge. There's something going on right there around that bridge post. You see it? Looks like it was later pulled out and plugged after it was finished or something. Maybe repaired after it was finished because it was loose. Maybe that's why this guitar is being sold cheaply. Because it is not like that on the other side. But boy, it is a pretty guitar, ain't it? I don't know what wood this is supposed to be, but it's definitely not mahogany. Mahogany doesn't have grain like that of any kind that I've ever seen. There's something in the finish there. I have no clue what that black spot is. That don't bother me. If it bothers you, well, I'm probably going to get one with that on it. There's something here on the finish. I can't feel it, so don't bother me. Now, this guitar was purchased with my own money, just like I told you in the beginning of the video. You'll never see any more of these cheap guitars on here that I don't buy. Fender or Gibson or somebody wants to give me a guitar, that's a totally different thing, as long as they let me be honest. But these cheap guitars, I won't let them send them to me no more. This is a $186 guitar, and it's supposed to be a Les Paul copy. Let's see if it's in tune out of the box. Well, one thing's for certain. This guy's definitely pretty, huh? Nice and shiny, look at it. Maybe the back not so much as pretty. Some of you guys might like that wood grain, I do. Don't bother me at all. But let's see fresh out of the box if it's in tune. Yeah, that's not even close. And the action is super high straight out of the box. You see that? Well, that's enough gawking at it. Let's throw it up on the bench, see what we can do with it. Boy, I'm a sucker for that blue. I ain't gonna lie to you. So if looks could kill, I'm dead in the water right now. Because I like this. This is great. Those tuning machines feel pretty smooth. I wasn't expecting them to feel smooth. Let's get these strings out of here so we can check this bridge out. Yeah, cheap Chinese strings. Nothing special there. Now what's that say there? Looks like it says either XD or KD EP1. So maybe this was meant for an Epiphone? For the EP1 there? I don't know. Look at the play in the bridge. Look at that. That can't be good for your tuning. I'm just telling you now, that can't be good. So on the back of the actual bridge, there's that KD again. If you look, there's no plastic on this one. It's already got some scratches on it too. But there is plastic on this one, so we'll go ahead and get it off of here. Remember I was talking earlier about how someone went around those fret edges with a file? They didn't really knock the sharpness off. For all you OCD guys, this thing has a bunch of stuff going on with these inlays. But you can see that really clearly. Yeah, there's an actual hole beside there. You see that? That sticks in it. Whenever I'm working on a guitar that has a switch like this, I always take it off until I'm done. I just do. Sometimes they get broken. Really easy. Now we looked at these same pickups before in that PRS style. But let's look at these anyway. Alright, let's see what we're working with here. More Sharpie scribbles. Same thing. Crazy, huh? Looks pretty good, and it just doesn't have any weight to it. It is done cleanly. It's just, you can tell there's nothing inside this thing. There's no weight to it. Let's see if they scribbled on the neck pickup. Here we go. What's in there good? Look at that. This one's just got a check mark on it, looks like. Well, I guess it's a check mark. I don't know. Let's take the little cover off for the switch. Typical stuff for a guitar of this quality. Let's get this plate to the control cavity off. Now here's a fun game. Put it in the comments now what you think's in that control cavity. What color is the tone capacitor gonna be? Dun 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 dun. Were you right? I mean, hot dog, there it is. Just them brown ones. But everything else looks like it always does in a guitar like this. They did paint it with black paint. This is not shielding paint. I promise you it ain't. We're going to check it with a meter here in just a second. Yeah, we're going to check that paint. But I left my meter on in the drawer, so I got to change the battery real quick. Put an Energizer Max in it this time. Now I've just got the meter set to conduit. You can see it works fine on this metal, right? Let's put it down here in this supposed conduit paint. I got nothing. I got nothing. That's just black paint. Nothing to make you jump up and down there, so let's go ahead and put this back on. Some of you guys asked me to get a reading on the pickups. Just go ahead and wrap this around the ground real good. That way we don't have to touch it. We'll make sure all the knobs are up. Bridge pick up first. Wow, that booger's hot. Look at that. Middle. Wow. And the neck. Yeah, I don't know how that works. Maybe you guys can tell me how that can be a 7 and the bridge can be a 14 and the middle can be a 5. All right, let's see how straight the neck is. Yeah, that's straight as could be. It probably could use a little relief. It might get some on it when I put these 10s on it, because I put 10s on Les Pauls. The dreaded fret rocker. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's just do it. I got my little magnet here, and as you can see, it goes right to the truss rod. See it? So these are stainless steel frets. And I normally wouldn't move that pickup, but since I don't want my files scrubbing on it, I moved it out of the way. See all that dust, you can see plenty was removed. And let's crown them back up. I suggest if you're doing this, tape some stuff off and do some stuff, but I'm from the Scarred Nation. I do it like this. Everything you see me using, there's going to be a link in the description for. We'll just polish these frets up real quick. Now that the crowning nightmare's over. Sometimes my eraser might get clogged like that. I just take the file. Get that crap off. Look at that wobbly joker too. Do you know what time it is? You can see that nut's cut horribly. You're never going to get the action good if that's what your string looks like when you're making an F chord. I've shown this before, but I'm going to show it again. I take my little 80 Van Halen rubber bands like this with my gauges. I put them in there like that. I pop the rubber bands on there. The gauges are just a little bit taller than the fret. I mean just a hair. I'm talking a hair, fellas. But now I can take my files and cut it down to this, and it'll be perfectly shaped with the fretboard and everything. voila. Let's get all the metal shavings off. This fretboard's bone dry. I'm just going to put a little linseed oil on it. Now I'm going to use a dry part of the rag to wipe it all in good. Alright, let's put that string back on. Let's get them all on. Now I've shown this before in other videos too. But I always like to loop the B and the E. Like this. And then on the loop, I put the loop on the other side. It's an opposite from the actual turn. You see that? Just locks it in. I mean, I think it's time to jam. Not sure. Yeah, it's time. Here we go. It's all tuned up, intonated correctly. Nice little fret job on it. Yep. It's ready to play. Boy, sure is shiny. Now, I'm not really crazy about shiny guitars, even though I own a few, because they just get fingerprints on them. Kind of sucks. But this one's pretty cool. I love it. I'm a sucker for the blue. That's what it is. Now let's play it a little bit unplugged first and hear what it sounds like. You know, now that we got it all set up. Yeah, it sounds good. Let's turn it up some. Now I've got the amp set as clean as I can get it. Now listen, this does not feel like a Les Paul, although it may look like one to you right now. And I've played many Gibson Les Pauls, Epiphones, all types of them. This don't feel like one. It may look like one, like I said. You're not replacing a Gibson Les Paul with this. Now this guitar sounds pretty good, I'm not gonna lie to you. And, you know, I set it up, so I'm gonna say it plays great, but it does. It plays good. Okay, so the bridge pickup is nice and sweet in this guitar. The neck, not so much, I'm thinking, because it sounds just as bad as the one in the other guitar. I'm thinking you're probably going to change the pickups anyways, and that's not going to really matter too much. I'm surely going to change them. So what are my final thoughts on the guitar? I think it's beautiful. There was nothing major wrong with this guitar that couldn't be fixed easily. And it's pretty as all get out. I'm definitely going to keep it. It plays great. Like I said earlier, does it feel like a Gibson Les Paul? Certainly not. Not even close. Does it look like one? Oh yeah. With the right pickups, could it sound like one? Oh yeah. Now in the video, you noticed I said there were some things that didn't bother me. The reason they don't bother me is because they don't affect the playability of the guitar. Now I went ahead and pointed those things out because they just might bother you. I think that guitar was $186 delivered to my house. See, in my mind, if you know how to do the simplest little fretwork and setup like I did to the guitar, man, it's a steal at that price. And if you're asking me if the guitar's worth the money, because I can do the work, sure it is. Absolutely. Alright, you guys have a good one, and I really appreciate you watching. But until next time, don't you touch my Scar guitar.